Do you know that certain behaviors and psychological factors can help you detect when your woman or girlfriend is lying, and you do not have to be anything like a professional to figure it out? All you really need to do is look out for certain clues. In this video, we'll be sharing with you 6 common signs your woman or partner is lying to you, how to handle such situations, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. So let's dive right in. 6. They give you vague answers when you ask questions, especially when they weren't expecting that question. To make herself seem more genuine, a girl might either share too many or too few details in her story, depending on her usual way of communicating. So, when you ask a simple question like, "Who did you go to the party with last night?" instead of naming the person, she might just say, "A friend." Why is it so hard for her to just say the person's name? Well, when she's vague, it's often a way of stalling to come up with a suitable answer. If someone doesn't give you many details, they might be trying to keep something from you, something they know their partner might not like. The same goes for when they provide excessive explanations. 5. They take time to respond to your questions. In relationships, there are times when you get a gut feeling that something's not quite right, and you start seeking answers. Let's say you send your partner a text asking about their whereabouts, and it takes them a while to reply or they don't respond at all. What's actually happening is they're taking their time to carefully think about what they're going to say. Asking a simple question to your girlfriend or partner shouldn't be something that takes a long time to answer. If you notice this happening frequently, it might be a sign that she's not being honest with you. The same goes for when she repeats your question. This is a common trick used by students or job seekers during interviews to give themselves a few extra seconds to come up with an impressive response. In the case of a girl or woman who is lying, she might do this to buy herself some extra time to craft a reply or to get you to provide more details in your question. This way, she can gauge how much information you're expecting and give you just that. 4. Her story keeps changing. You know, sometimes it's tough to keep track of lies. When someone initially tells you a story that later doesn't match what they said before, and you discover that things didn't really end the way they claimed, it's a clear sign that they might be hiding something, or even lying to you. If they can't stay consistent and stick to one version of the story, it's a lie. A simple trick to check if she's lying is to ask her to tell the story in reverse. Even if she's rehearsed the lie in her head, she wouldn't have practiced telling it backward. Pay attention to any inconsistencies, and you can figure out if she's being dishonest. If they leave out important details or events that would make you suspicious, that's also a sign of deception. 3. She gets defensive or angry when you ask for clarification. I agree that having to repeat yourself can be quite frustrating, but if she becomes extremely defensive when a simple answer could resolve an issue, it's possible she's not being truthful. Why? Well, getting overly angry or defensive can either make you drop the subject because it's bothering her so much, leaving you curious about why it's a sensitive topic, or it could be a tactic to distract from the issue, change the subject, and eventually accuse you of invading her personal space. 2. They never give you access to their phones. When you get to that point where your girlfriend or generally your partner just cannot seem to let their phone lie there, or ever pass on their phone to you for you to use for something as simple as making a phone call, know that it's a really big sign that there's something wrong happening and you need to really pay attention. When your partner can't simply even tell you their password, there obviously is something that they do not want you to know. 1. She can't maintain eye contact while speaking to you. Maintaining direct eye contact while telling a lie can be quite a challenge for anyone. When a woman is being dishonest, she tends to avoid looking you in the eye and might shift her gaze to different objects to avoid your scrutiny. It's not that she has to keep her gaze on you all the time, but if she's avoiding eye contact about 90% of the time, it's a sign she might be lying. If you're concerned about something and approach her with it, watch for her reaction. Does she avoid meeting your eyes? This often indicates feelings of shame, fear, or at the very least, discomfort. Unless she's a compulsive liar, she's likely to appear surprised, taken aback, or genuinely confused if you accuse her of dishonesty when she's innocent. But if she's not innocent, she might try to make you feel guilty by asking if you don't trust her, pushing you to drop the topic and move on. In some cases, she might even resort to crying, making you feel guilty for questioning her. Since most men don't like seeing their woman cry because of them, this can lead you to drop the topic. So, what should you do when you discover that someone you deeply care about is lying to you? Here are some steps to consider. Figure out the reason. Try to understand why they chose to lie instead of telling the truth. Sometimes, people believe that the truth can be more painful than a lie, which I disagree with. I believe people will thank you for being truthful to them as opposed to lying to them. Trust your instincts. If you have a gut feeling that something is amiss, it's often worth paying attention to those instincts. Trust your feelings and thoughts because they can be a good indicator of the truth. Call them out. When you catch them in a lie or feel that what they're saying doesn't add up, have an open conversation with them. Let them know that their explanation doesn't align with your understanding and present your arguments. Leave room for them to provide a convincing explanation for their actions. Have an honest conversation. Engage in a sincere and open conversation with them to get to the bottom of why they felt the need to lie. Express your appreciation for honesty and let them know that it's more valuable to you than a lie, which can ultimately hurt you even more. Communication and understanding are key in resolving such situations. Leave me a comment on what you thought of the video. Like and subscribe if you found any value from it, and watch the next video coming up. I'll see you there.